There it is. And then where do we go to?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Awesome.
Am I in?
What are you doing, Doc?
By yourself?
When I walked in, he said, "Am I in the right place?"
Yeah,
So where do you go from here?
Really turned out really nice.
Take the finger color.
Really, really.
There.
I remember I was telling Nick, I remember who used to meet in the president's
Go
office.
to
Go to
Google or what?
Board of Trustees.
Long on board.
Yeah.
Where?
Go to.
No, this is nicer.
Hmm, you could go
I don't know
to
how. I don't even know what my password is.
meeting agenda.
Okay.
Go to on the board book. Where?
No, I just went to. I just went to.
day of life you've given us today, although hot, we ask rain. But thank you for these blessings and continue to bless this institution and us personally. Uh, we ask you to bless, continue to bless us, the students, staff, faculty, governing board, and the administration. And most of all, we thank you for this unconditional love you have for us. I'd like to keep in mind our one of our former instructors and a member of the this junior college going back to 1963, 64. Beatrice Moreno Garcia, bring healing to the family. We ask this thing in Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Thank you. I'd like to call the meeting to order. I would like for everybody to say how much we appreciate this beautiful new facility that we have today. Our first meeting in this new facility. First order of business, I think I'll recognize some of our guests. Welcome to the meeting, Connie Buchanan, Armando Madrigon, April Ruman, Bella Rubio, Carlos Lopez, Dakota Valdez, Cruz Mata, Judy Estrada, Eric Sandoval, Al Salinas, Aubrey Haynes, Aida Escamilla, Roxanne Olinan, Wade Carpenter, Randa Shell, Lisa Ernest, Mark Underwood, and Brenda Hoffman. Welcome. Is there any audience patrons?
None, sir.
And I guess we'll proceed right to the president's report.
Okay. Is item number 4 in your board packet? We'll have it up. So we have the screens, the new screens for our audience, and we have some on the side for our board. You also have it before you. We'll try to go through the agenda. That way, oftentimes you're sitting there wondering what we're talking about. We're going to try to put those documents up so you can follow along. So the new warehouse, about 85% complete when I wrote this. Now we're probably 90%, 95% complete. All the stuff is in there. The power should be on next week. Plumbing is getting connected. And some trims here and there. Fence is ongoing. It's going to take us a little bit longer to get all the fencing going around. Paving, a couple of weeks out. Power line building has been moved. It is connected to utilities. We have a target date of August 23rd for that building. So we can continue with our power line class and truck driving class that begins the following Monday. Power line has started already. We're housing the instruction in the Briscoe building. Moving down to phase 1B, this is the building, the relocation of facilities from the Chittum Center to the Eagle Pass Annex. The building from Palomar has been delivered, installed. We're pending connection to utilities. That process has begun with Rio Grande Electric. Site work is being done. They're doing sidewalks and parking lots, pads for the truck driving practice, and also the power line. So that's ongoing. 1C, the diesel lean-to here on the Uvalde campus, that has been completed. Equipment is coming in. Some minor electrical work, both inside the diesel and construction sciences, will begin or is in the process with a completion date of August 23rd. And again, we have that equipment will continue to come in probably into September. Rebranding, I don't know if you noticed on the way in, we have our new sign on the campus. If you didn't see it, then maybe on your way out, just look over your left shoulder and you'll see our new logo there on the brick as you come into the campus. You see our new flag. This flag has the college seal on it, and then which is similar to this one. And then our new flag at the campus, it's on a white background. You can see the logo there. So we're getting more signage in. There's more like recruiting tables. You see the table covers over here to my left. Those are the new ones. As you walked in, the new flags. What do we call those? The banners, feather banners. Again, you know, as the stuff's coming in, we're pushing it out. We're swapping signs. This is going to be ongoing for a while. I don't know if you noticed the Uvalde paper last 2 weeks ago Sunday had a great full page of our new logo, new programs, all of our program inventory. I think that was a great advertisement out there promoting the college. Enrollment, summer 2, as you recall, summer 1 we had a 12% increase. Over the previous year, summer two, we ended up with a 10% increase over the previous year. So those are great enrollment numbers going into the fall, and we're on track to hit our enrollment target. We still have a week of enrollment, so to speak. And then down below, you have the upcoming meetings. We have the general faculty meeting is on the 21st. That's when all of our faculty report back. Of course, our first day of classes is on the 26th. Palomino Festival, August 30th, September 1st. We will be closed for Labor Day. And then you can see the subsequent meetings for the next month. I also like to take the time right now to recognize and thank the folks that put all this hard work into redesigning our boardroom. So where's our staff here? Al Salinas, Zeke Martinez, Alejandro Gomez, Richard Rodriguez, please stand up. Jose Luis. They did a fabulous job. Thank you.
Thank you
Beautiful
all.
job, gentlemen.
Also
Beautiful.
want to recognize the architect of the design, Mr. Wade Carpenter. It was his vision.
wow.
And of course, all of our IT team and media folks and everybody that had a hand in putting this room together. Our VP Sandoval that made sure that I told him, okay, by 2 o'clock on Thursday, we need to be finished. And I think they finished at 1:45 or something. But they got it done. So thank you so much for what you did. This is a fabulous room. A lot of hard work, but I think it's commensurate with the work that you do, the decisions that you make, and the impact that you're making over the 11 county regions that you represent. So thank you. The other item attached to my president's report is what I called the accreditation timeline. I should have included it last month. It got left out, but just so you have an idea, every 10 years to go through a accreditation process, and these are some major deadlines that we have when reports are due. Going into the past, on May 29-30, we had a visit from our SAC COC Vice President, Dr. Cuevas. October 21 through the 24th, Ms. Dean Ruman is going to be an observer for another community college in Alabama. And then our document is due March the 1st, 2025. We'll get a response back by July. Our quality enhancement plan is due on September 8, 2025. And then we've already scheduled our on-site visit, which is going to occur October 20 through the 23rd in 2025. So that's kind of the timeline that we have for our accreditation visit. And then on the next page, those are the items that we have to respond to. So for example, one, there may be 5 or 10 items under one, 5 or 10 items under mission, and so forth. But in a very broad category, these are the 14 areas, standards, that we have to comply to, that we have to attest to our peers that we are addressing, meeting, practicing, following that standard. So that's what the report is answering those questions. And I just wanted to provide that kind of context for you hear us talking about our SACS report and what's going on, that this is a very broad snapshot of what it is. Why is SACS important? The accreditation is important because without it, we would not be eligible for Title IV funds, of which Pell is. So in order to be able to award federal financial aid to students, you have to submit yourself to the accreditation process. So that's why we do it. Any questions for me on the president's report?
That takes a lot of work on your part and on everybody in the room. The college part.
So yes, the report itself is being written by people across our institution. We have leads on certain areas, and they have other folks within their departments that are helping them gather evidence and write those reports. So it is truly a college-wide effort to respond to the standards. The QEP that we've been working on for, I guess, a year, developing, researching what topics. Now we're trying to develop the QEP, and the QEP is a quality enhancement plan. It's what is our goal to advance education for our institution. It could be focused on mentoring, it could be focused on tutoring, it could be focused on debit. There's really no limit. We just have to demonstrate that we've done research, we have a reason why we're going to do it, that it is going to impact the entire institution. We have a plan of how to implement it, we can measure it, and that's in essence the key components of when you see QEP, what we're doing. And that is heavily faculty and I think with the topic that we have, a student success coach driven plan process that we're working on right now. And as we get more refined in our topics, we'll bring those to the board, and so you can have an idea of where we're headed with our quality enhancement plan.
So this accreditation timeline that we're looking at, is this an annual?
Every 10 years. So every 10 years, we have a major accreditation. Every 5 years, so in between, it's an abbreviated accreditation, kind of make sure you don't forget what you have to do. So it's not as lengthy, but every 5 years or in between, we have to do a shorter one. But this big one is every 10 years. Every 10 years.
So this is big. Okay.
This is the big one.
Thank you for that report.
Yes, sir.
Next item on our agenda is to consider an act on the consent agenda for the minutes of the June 20th, 24 meeting. Do I hear a motion?
So move.
Do I hear a second? Second. So moved in second. We need a motion to consider the financial statement for June 30th and June 31st. Do I hear a motion? Nobody wants to move to consider the
Which item is this?
financial statement of June 30th and June 30th. We want to act as a consent agenda for those. You want to make a motion?
So move.
Anybody second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to consider an act on consent agenda for the minutes of the June 30th, June 20th meeting, financial statement of the June 30th meeting, financial statement of the July 31st meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Next, we have reports on the construction technology report.
Yes, sir. I'd like to ask Mr. Carlos Lopez, our instructor, to give us that report.
Well, good evening, everybody. My name's Carlos Lopez, fairly new instructor here to the college. So I'm really excited about this program. When Dr. Gonzalez initially told me about it, I was like, I'm chomping at the bit to go out there and teach it. It feels like we've made, in my career, I've made full circle on there. My background is construction. My degrees are in construction management, construction science, and then I have an MBA. So when, they told me about this program, I was like, this is perfect. It feels like, I can give back to the community, especially with our students who are so eager to learn, what the program entails to. So, loading the program. Okay. Well, here we go. Here we go. Initially, the program was called construction carpentry when it was first presented to me, right? So one of the biggest things I saw as a business owner myself of a commercial construction company, and the way the education field throughout the state of Texas works, is most of the construction programs are either called construction management or construction science. So as a business owner and with my educational background, I figured the best marketing ploy for the college is to name it, get in line with the university programs and other community colleges that have similar programs on there. And that was the intent of changing the program from construction carpentry to construction science. Next slide, please. Or is it on here? Which one is it here? Here we go. The arrow. There we go. Well, the construction industry in the United States, specifically here in Texas, makes up a huge segment of the economy. It's anywhere in the state of Texas, it's approximately 5 to 7%. Nationwide, GDP is about 4 to 6%. So job-wise speaking, it's huge. I mean, you can see it everywhere from San Antonio to Austin, out throughout the state of Texas, how much growth there is on here. And regionally for our area, south of San Antonio, coming down this way, you see the tremendous growth as everything moves into Castroville, Eagle Pass, Del Rio. So there's a huge necessity to have construction professionals, you know, being in the industry. It's something that constantly we're struggling to find. And this construction program is a great opportunity for our students to find gainful employment. As a matter of fact, one of our students midway through the program was hired as a building inspector with the city of Eagle Pass. So, and she's chomping at the bit to learn more, and she's continuing with her associate's degree program. The construction industry is made up of a whole facet of different groups, from plumbing to electrical to welding, so forth and so on. And in that group, you have professionals like foremen, superintendents, project managers. I like to say that construction managers, professionals are like veterinarians. They know about a lot of different aspects of the industry, and that's what we're trying to get our students to learn. One of the things that you see, initially the program was geared towards these specific fields right here, these specific classes. You had intro to carpentry, flooring systems. So you saw that the program did a good job of trying to encompass a lot of different skills on there. So what I did in renaming the program is kind of condense certain things together to make it more efficient and introduce new skills that these students could use as professionals. And here's a program change that happened. The first part of the semester for the fall, you see that we still teach the intro to carpentry, floor systems, wall systems, but towards the end of the semester, you start to see a shift to more supervisory roles, managerial roles, where the construction management one starts to take place, a condensing of the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems into one core class, estimating, figuring out how to price jobs, you know, get them to look at a little bit more of the mathematics, spreadsheets, Excel, get them start thinking about pricing, you know, develop a little bit more academic skills for them. Construction methods and materials, contracts, which are a huge portion of it. I know sometimes the students want to be like, well, I don't want to read the fine details, but it's so important. It's such an important skill as a construction professional to be able to look at these issues. So this is how the program changed. It'll still get slight adjustments as we move on through the years to try to get it in line with some of the other university programs. Right now, currently, we have the following schools that offer dual credit programs with them. We got obviously Uvalde here, which is our main campus here. Pearsall, Dilley, Cotulla. These are all schools that are participating in our construction science program with dual credit. 2023 saw enrollment of 86 students enrolled in the program, 6 here at the main campus, and so forth, as you see here in this slide. Right now, as of 2024, we have 130 students enrolled, up 86 to 130. So that's about a 51% increase in students here. So it's exciting. You know, it's great to see that you know, that the program's growing, and hopefully we can continue to grow it, provide more detailed classes, and potentially, here's some of our goals here. Obviously, increase enrollment here at the main campus, which we are doing. We've already increased from last year's enrollment, right? Offer non-block scheduled classes for working adults. You know, those construction professionals that work during the day and the evening might want to brush up on their estimating skills, on their contract skills. I think that's something that we can do. Increase collaboration with state university construction programs, the UTSAs, the Texas A&Ms. All of these major universities have construction science or construction management programs. We want to be able to we want to have our students be able to transfer to those universities with as many credits as they can to gain those bachelor's degrees. So, in addition, we're trying to get, we're in the process, but we have to align our curriculum to try to get certified with the ACCE, which is the American Council for Construction Education. This is the entity that accredits the university programs. and also the community college program. So we want to be able to get there. It's about a 3-year process, but right now we're trying to get in line first to have our program match what they need, and then they'll evaluate at that point. With the changes that we're doing, obviously we kind of we're seeing the increase in the program. Again, with continued collaboration with other institutions, as the word gets out, as people say, hey, down in Uvalde, they're doing a great job. They have a construction program, look at them versus coming to, Palo Alto up there in San Antonio, or North Lake up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area where I started off at. And initially, when I started off with my associate's program in construction management, I thought that was going to be it, right? I didn't know that there was bachelor's degree programs, and now there's master's and doctoral programs in construction too. So there's a lot of opportunity for students to grow out there. In addition, we need to continue to partner with our industry professionals in the area. This past spring, we had our first collaboration with our advisory committee out here. We want to maintain those relationships because I think it's important for the school to be able to provide them with a steady flow of professionals that can be at their disposal. Not just in construction, but vendors, like Sherwin-Williams, the lumber companies. Those are all facets of the construction industry, and having good qualified personnel that can hire from just benefits, our region in general. So, any questions?
Why don't we have one in Eagle Pass?
It's in the process of being worked on right now. I know we did some initial interviews and visiting some site facilities out there. I think right now we're geared maybe towards 2025 possibly, but I know it's in the works right now. So
We don't have a site where we're going to pick over there.
well, it's both schools is what we looked at originally, but again, they're in the process of deciding that right now. So
Any idea why there's so many students at Pearsall? There's 32 versus 6 in Uvalde.
I think it's a little bit longer. Well, the thing is with the students, it goes over the course of their 4 years with their early college, with their programs that they have.
Mhm.
Initially, this was the first cohort this past year with the Uvalde students. So we went from 6. Right now, I think there's currently 10 enrolled right now. So we've almost doubled the size already. So our goal is, again, to continue growing the class and offer more opportunities, for these students.
I know at one time we had a program that was being done at the prison, I think in Dilley or somewhere.
Yes, sir. I believe
several
the
years.
instructor is no longer with her, but I know they're in the process of getting that back online too right now. So
Also.
it was discussed over the summer and they're working on it right now too. So
And we're targeting what, Dilley and
I forget the
Hondo?
name of the facility.
To be in the tourist unit.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so the other sites are actual dual credit programs. So they're at the high school. It's not in the community.
Not on our campus.
Correct. The only one that we're teaching on our campus is the one here.
The one we're in is,
The one we
move
started
over.
last year. Yes. The one that's their new home is going to be in the old warehouse.
have we moved over yet or not yet?
that's where we'll be doing that shortly on there. So
Soon as
but-
you leave
but-
here.
the good thing is it's like I told Mr. Mondragon, the collaboration between the various high schools, that's a main focus of ours because we want to be able to teach the same curriculum. I know it's a little bit different in regards to the time frame that they teach those, but we all want to be on the same page, and that's very important. I had a meeting with the instructors this past week, and we all sat down and we looked at different things and said, look, we can set up systems to, templates that basically replicate each other so we can all be teaching the same things on there, and that's our goal.
And our instructors, or do we do it much like the dual credit, where we get instructors from the high school? Is that what?
So the high school programs are high school faculty using our curriculum to teach the courses. And we're providing the supervision of the curriculum because we're transcribing it. So they're teaching it to our standards, but they're the ones doing it with their faculty.
Sounds great. You got
Well, I'm really
you start-
excited about it. I'm happy.
start looking at coming out of San Antonio.
Oh, yeah.
San Antonio, Castroville. I mean, all that area. Is just
It's scary,
growing.
right from Castroville all the way toward past Austin, Georgetown. Next thing you know, you're in Dallas, and it's one giant metroplex. So
How many of your students are working in the industry already?
right now, we had the first hire, which was a lady out of Eagle Pass. She's an official building inspector on there. Two of the other students, well, it was 6 this past one out of our cohort here. 2 of them are doing their own business stuff, which is great, because one of the first questions I asked when I showed up to class was like, what do you guys want to be? And everybody's like, well, I want to own my own business. Well, perfect. This is exactly what I've done for the last 15 years. I'm going to tell you every single mistake I've ever made. That way you can try to avoid. I think those are the best lessons that we can teach as when you get a professional that has background in it. And you know what I mean? Those are the best lessons we can teach our students. So hopefully we continue. Like I said, that's why it's so important we interact with the local industry professionals. That way they know, hey, they have students graduating, they can intern, we can pull them, we recommend this guy. Hey, I got a great person that might be great for that role. That's the collaboration we need to have with our local community. So great. All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for that, Rip.
smart board, some microphones, some cameras. And we maintain all that technology, make sure everything's working, ready for use. Any issues, we're there to address and provide solutions. One of the primary uses of smart boards and smart classrooms are for distance learning. So we regularly collaborate with students, faculty, and staff on their efficient use. We also train, schedule, and supervise monitors for those distance learning courses. Some of the responsibilities for those monitors include connecting classes via Zoom and proctoring instructors' exams. Monitors are both our and instructors' eyes and ears. If there's any issues with the class, with students, or with the classroom technology, they're readily available to address or communicate that to either us or the instructor. Here are a couple of numbers. There are currently 217 total smart boards across all the sites, with more on the way. The instructional technology department is responsible for each and every one of them. 166 of those boards are in smart classrooms. The rest are utilized in a variety of different locations, such as conference rooms, labs, libraries, and other presentational areas. With both instructor and student feedback in mind, we recently acquired new technology to bolster our smart classrooms capabilities. There are wireless microphones for students to better hear their instructors, whole room microphones for instructors to better hear their students. And then we recently acquired webcams so students can have a better view of the instructors during class. So in summation, it's the duty of the instructional technology department to support student success by maintaining, demonstrating, and explaining the use of smart classroom systems and assisting faculty and staff with smart classroom equipment and software. Are there any questions?
How to work?
Glad you're doing it.
Thank you, Dakota, for your presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your report. Next on our agenda is to consider an act on certified tax rolls subject to properties under protest.
Yes, sir. This is item number 7 in your board packet. And in it, you will see that the certified values that we have, we still have some that are subject to protest, but what we can certify is Real County, 812 million, Uvalde County, 3.3 billion, Zavala County, 2.3 billion, for a total of 6,506,927,585. And it's our recommendation that the board accept the certified tax rolls subject to protest. And you can see behind the cover page, the individual certification from each of the appraisal districts, giving us that number. And you can also see the portions that are yet to be certified.
So, Dr. Gonzalez, what percentage did the valuations go up? Any idea for each county? I know Uvalde was like 14% or so from last year.
We actually have a worksheet on the next item that we can get into
Okay,
the changes.
but all three of them went up,
Yes,
valuations, correct?
correct.
We need a motion to approve the certified tax rolls.
Yes, sir.
Do I hear a motion?
Move that we accept the certified tax value listed.
Do I hear a second?
I'll say.
Motion been made and seconded to accept the certified tax rolls. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion's been adopted. Next item on our agenda is to consider an act on proposed tax rate.
Yes, sir. So item number 8, if we can hold off on the cover page and go to the second page, there you see the details of county by county and then a total. Since our taxing district does comprise Uvalde, Real, and Zavala County, we have to get the individual values for each of those counties and then collapse them into the total for our district. Lisa, Aubrey, do you know offhand which
Yes, we have
number
it.
is the last year's market value? Which line number?
A total 2024 taxable value on the 2024 certified appraisal roll. Oh, that's 24. 2023. The item number 8, the 2023 taxable value adjusted for actual and potential court ordered, line number 8.
Number 8. So 5.1 to 6.5. Is that the increase? Is that correct?
Okay, here's the number with the adjustment. Okay, so certified at 7/25/23 for 2023 is 5,695,486,847.
So line number 25 on the third page there. So it in answer to your question, Mr. Moreno, it grew by $900 million across the 3 counties.
What percentage is that?
We've got here overall 14, Real was 13, Uvalde was 15, Zavala 14. For an average, weighted average of 14%.
About 15. Thank you.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. So staying on that page, with the increase in valuation, our current tax rate, you see there on line 28, is 0.120382, 12 cents per $100 valuation, 12 and change. And then if you go down to the very bottom, section 8, you'll see two numbers, 110308 and 119437. So the no new revenue rate is 11 cents, 0.0308. The voter approved rate, so what that means is if we were to exceed 119437, we would have to have voter approval to exceed that rate. So then going back to the first page, we are recommend that the board propose a tax rate of 11.55, which is a half a cent, approximately half a cent decrease from our existing rate of 12.03.
That's not the no new revenue tax rate.
Correct. It's about 0.4 of a cent above the no new revenue.
I just kind of want to comment on that, just the fact that, you know, serving on the appraisal district board, you know, the valuations have gone up. As we mentioned, by like what, an average of 15% pretty much in all the counties and stuff. And we have had record number of protests from people on taxation and valuations and all that. So to me, it's like we need to give our people, the communities, a break. I know that the county was looking at doing the voter approval rate, I think, which is an excessive amount. They were not looking at the new revenue. I don't know what they ended up deciding. I know the school district is also going to go up because they're in a what $2 million deficit, and it's basically based on some of the mistakes that the school board has made, paying the ex-superintendent too much, paying the new superintendent too much. They're trying to make the taxpayers pay for all those things. So to me, you know, we luckily, thanks to Dr. Gonzalez and his staff, are doing very well financially. We have a good fund balance. We're able to give raises. We're able to do the things that we need to do. I would like for this board to consider maybe the no new revenue tax rate, which is a little bit more than what you're proposing. But
so the difference between the no new revenue rate and the rate that we're proposing on a $150,000 home equates to 60 cents a month difference. So $7 a year difference on a $150,000 home. Going from the no new revenue to the 11.55, which is
a trivial amount, but
60 cents, but it's a trivial amount for paying, but for the institution, it would generate $200,000 approximately.
we're still going to get new money not only because of the increased valuation, but we're also going to get because of the new properties that are being included in the valuation, correct?
We won't get new money for the valuation. That's why we're dropping the rate. So even though, you have the market rate, the valuation going up, we're dropping our rate to keep our revenue the same. So that's what that means. You are correct in the new properties that weren't on the roll before, those would be additional money. But if we go to the no new revenue rate completely, then there is no, doesn't matter what the valuation is, the college will still get the same money because the rate went down. So we're asking to split that difference with the taxpayers. There's less than a penny difference between the current tax rate and the no new revenue rate, and we're asking, you know, instead of dropping it a penny, dropping it 50 cents or half of a penny, which equates to about 60 cents a month.
Sure.
For a $150,000 home.
I understand that, but whatever we can do for the taxpayer would be the best thing. And I wish that the county, I wish that the school district, I wish that everyone would follow our lead and do something like that. Because right now, I mean, the county's looking to go up, the school district's fixing to go up. People are getting hit right and left. So.
But also, that's a little bit loud. Sorry, let me take this off.
But I imagine you're doing this partly because inflation has increased costs, and we've got to account for that in some way. And I imagine that's the part of the problem. Is I understand school districts are in trouble because the amount that the state pays per child has basically stayed a certain amount, whereas costs have gone up over exponentially over the last 5 or 6 years. And I understand we pay differently, but I think we deal with the same cost increases.
We can't continue holding the no new revenue rate forever, because if that was the case, then our costs would remain static. We're very cognizant of going to increase that. I want to say 5, 6 years ago, we were at 16, 17 cents per $100, and you know, we've been able to drop it down to 11 cents. When you get down to 11 cents, you know, the state says you cannot exceed 8%. Well, 8% of a smaller rate keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So we're talking about fractions of a cent now, when in the past it was 2 cents or 3 cents. Now we're talking about fractions.
I remember.
Yes. So again, you know, for the financial health of this institution, that's what we're recommending is, yes, give the taxpayers a break. If the board elects to do the entire amount, the entire 9/10 of a cent, or half of the 9/10 of a cent, that's what we're asking for. Is we want to be good stewards. We want to give back to the community, but we also need to take care of our institution, and that's why we recommended to just split the half and give half back to the taxpayer and maintain the half. And when we looked at the impact on the average home, you know, 60 cents a month is, I think, very reasonable. $7 and change for the year, I think, is what the change would be.
And that's our portion. Then you have the city, then you have the county, and then you have the school district. And so
I understand that, but we can't control that. I'm giving back as much as I think we can. Now, you know, in total, on that same $150,000 home, our portion of that tax is only $159. Now the other 2,000 goes somewhere else. Yes. So I can only control that 159.
It's also kind of counterintuitive because the valuations went up from last year, but with interest rates where they are, you would argue that things lost value. You know, property prices are going down, not up, and so it's hard to understand how they went up 14 or 15%. But I guess it's not relevant for our discussion.
So what you're proposing is the least that we can do to meet our needs.
Correct.
Who makes the decision on how much these things go up? Aren't you on the board that makes that decision?
or what?
That makes the decision to raise the taxes, raise the valuations on everything.
It's a slippery slope. I mean, it is tough. That's why I'm.
You have no control? You have no voice?
Very difficult. The thing is, it's also controlled by the state, and we have to be within 5% of what the state values properties. If you're not, you're out of compliance. And that's the hard part. We don't know how the state comes up with values for our area, whether our values here are the same as Fredericksburg, Bernie, some of the upper, I mean, you can't compare them. We don't know. I wish.
So you have no voice in deciding?
Well, I mean, it's a very complicated deal, and it's just very difficult. I just see that there's more protests than ever before, record numbers of protests. That means that people cannot afford taxes. I mean, it's getting impossible. You're getting punished for being successful in owning stuff. You know, that's the hard thing. And nowadays, you leave a house to your kids, and you're not leaving them an inheritance. You're leaving them a tax burden. You know, because it'll go on their tax rates, not those 65 and above rate. You know? So it's tough, difficult. I don't know. That's what I would recommend.
I'll do it. Are you ready for a motion? I need to read this. I'll go ahead and read it if you want me to. Okay. I propose that the Board of Trustees vote to propose a tax rate of 0.1155 for 100 property valuation. This will represent a decrease in the tax rate, but will provide the college with a greater amount of revenues than in the previous year.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded to accept the proposal of the proposed tax rate of 0.1155 per $100 valuation.
I believe we need to
Do I
vote.
hear a
We have to do individual, I think it says there at the bottom.
Oh,
There's a
roll call?
requirement, Secretary.
A roll call vote.
So then we need to do aye or nay.
I'll vote against.
Maria Elena?
I vote for.
Four?
Or,
Four.
Four.
In favor, yes.
So we have a
In
vote of
favor.
6-1. Motion passed. So that takes care of that. Then next, consider an act on placing a proposal to adopt the tax rate on the agenda for future meeting.
Yes, sir. That's item number 9 in your board packet. And we're recommending September 19th. Is that correct, Lisa?
We have to have one hearing because it's over the no new revenue rate.
That's next month's
Yes, sir, the public hearing would need to be on,
The 12th,
regular meeting, right?
on the 12th. I'm sorry, the 12th. So we'll have to have a public hearing on September the 12th. And then vote to actually adopt the rate on the 19th at our regular meeting.
and we
And-
can have that meeting, the public hearing at noon or at the regular scheduled board meeting time, whichever y'all can choose.
Hearing details.
It would be here,
In this room?
and we can have it at noon or at whatever time
Whatever time.
the board would like to set it for the 12th.
8:12, excuse me. 8:12 is for the public meeting?
Okay, I'm sorry. I skipped number 9. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well,
Dr. Ortiz, hang on.
Trying to change it.
Number 9, the first thing we need to do is when we will adopt the rate, that's number 9,
Set that meeting first.
and that would be the 19th. And then the following, item number 10, is the scheduling of the public hearing. So if we could do, back up and do number 9. And that's our recommendation is that the board adopt or place a proposal to adopt the tax rate at the next regular meeting, September 19th.
we're gonna have the adoption before we have a public meeting?
No, but we'll set it.
You're just setting the day.
It's just how we ordered the agenda. The adoption will be on the 19th, and then when we vote on that, then we'll consider number 10 and we'll recommend the 12th.
But the 12th is before the 19th.
Yes, the sequence in the agenda doesn't match the dates. But if we can just do number 9 and set it for the 19th, we'll get squared away.
To have a motion to,
Yes, sir.
That's so moved. Okay.
seconded, recommendation to place and proceed, the proposal to adopt the tax rate on the agenda for the September 19th meeting. All in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion passed. Now we need to consider an act on scheduling a public hearing.
Okay, now we're on track. So the public hearing, we propose September the 12th, and that would keep us in compliance with the calendar. And whether the board would like to have it at noon or at 6, it's up to the board's call.
What's the board's pleasure?
Is that your recommendation?
Okay.
It's on a Thursday.
Okay. I'll leave.
That's a recommendation, right?
Yes, either at noon or at 6.
Noon is fine.
No, that's fine, but wait before.
Everybody agree with the meeting at noon?
There'll be no action, we'll just hear.
On Thursday, yes. Thursday the 12th.
I move- it'll be good. I
Made a
move that
motion?
We have the public hearing on the 12th at noon.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded, to have the public hearing at noon on the 12th of September. All in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? All right. Consider an act on approving the SB 17 certification statement.
Yes, sir. This is something new. This is item number 11 in your board packet. So at the last legislative session, Senate Bill 17, commonly referred to as the DEI bill, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, where the state prohibited institutions of higher ed from having any kind of preferential treatment, offices, during either hiring or anything that is based on trying to address diversity, equity, or inclusion. And then, so now in order for us to qualify, and the stick behind this Senate bill, this new law, is that if you are in violation of the law, they could hold your state appropriations. So this statement here needs to be, I have filled it out. I have not signed it because it needs the board's consent for me to sign this authorization. But in effect, it says that we do not have an office or division or unit established for influencing hiring or employment practices, promoting policies or procedures designed to implement in reference to race, color, ethnicity, conducting trainings, et cetera. So you can kind of go through all the different certifications that I'm attesting to, but it does need a concurrence from the board that in fact we are following the law, and we are following the law.
We have no choice.
We have no choice.
So we have to have a motion to,
approve that statement, and then I'll sign it, you'll sign it, and we'll send it off to the state tomorrow.
okay. So do I need a motion?
Yes, sir.
I move.
So moved. And
Second.
do I need a second? Have a motion and a second to act on entering to the interlocal agreement, TACCBO members. All in favor? What?
I vote against it.
Okay. Is there anybody else on the, anybody, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have a 6-1 vote, therefore the motion passed. Next item on the agenda is consider TASB 47 local policies. What's that? Oh, okay. Act on entering an interlocal agreement with TACCBO members.
Yes, sir. So item number 12, as you've heard us say that we buy on state consortiums. These are agreements with the state. The state has approved certain vendors, certain items for us to go in and purchase, piggyback in essence on the state purchasing plan. TACCBO is a Texas Association of Community College Business Officers. It's another organization that has a centralized bidding and a list of vendors that they have already vetted, and rates and prices that have already been established. And we're just seeking authorization to add this group to the existing group that we have already for state purchasing.
We don't have to buy from them, but we,
No.
we can.
We can.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. Do I need a motion to approve the interlocal agreement with TACCBO members?
Yes,
I move. Anybody?
A second.
Got a motion and second to enter into the interlocal agreement with TACCBO members. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passed. Now we consider an act on TASB 47 local policies.
yes, sir. This is item number 13. You'll see there the list of policies impacted. We contacted TASB, and they're still processing changes that the legislature approved 2 years ago. We're about to start a new session, and they're still updating our policies. We had a question on one, and they advised us that it's going to be on update 48. So they're just, catching up, going through the laws and making the changes. There's nothing that stood out here, unless my VPs, but everyone reviewed it, and there's most of the changes that you'll see here were in compliance with that Senate Bill 17, making sure to add that language to our policy that we can't have an office for this, we can't have an office for that. And that's part of the, the evidence that we'll submit to the state, because along with that certification statement, we have to submit evidence. And so we've already made copies of those policies to put those in there. So like I said, there's really nothing unless you have a specific question on any one of those.
I noticed on the manual update, we're still called junior on every page.
Yes, so that's, again, TASB won't do anything without board approval, so we'll try to get that captured in update 48.
So we need a motion to accept this policy changes.
Yes, sir.
I so moved.
Anybody second?
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to accept the TASB local policies changes. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passed. Next, we consider an act on personnel matters. The board will convene in closed session in accordance with the Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551.074 to consider employment matters. See y'all later.
Maybe.
Almost that. We need to reconvene in open session. We need to reconvene in open session. Any further business? Any further business?
No, sir.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, we're through.
Oh. I told you. Okay. Wait. Oh, there it went.